Like, how are you feeling about them boys? And really, kind of what would you kind of like to learn when you spend time with myself and Nick?
Man, my Steelers, they're gonna be better than ever this year, I think. Because here's the thing: last year, you asked even the Steeler fan base to name 3 players. You can't do it.
Hmm.
Like it was just a bunch of dudes out there who came together under Mike Tomlin and had a winning season. Alex, you know me for a long time, and I used to not watch the Steelers until the playoffs because it was guaranteed they're going every year, and I love my Steelers, but I didn't have to watch them because I knew they were playing in late the year and it meant something.
Hmm.
I don't see that changing this year. Like it's Mike Tomlin has got something magic that can't be replicated. Um, what I want to learn from you guys, man, I don't know, man. You guys know way more in-depth stuff of who got drafted and all that kind of stuff. And I know a couple of the draft picks, like Roman Wilson. I think I even texted you and Ferg about that one. I mentioned
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
when it
National
happened.
champion. Yeah.
I was excited about that one. Russell Wilson. I mean, you got the Wilson brothers there. I mean, are they brothers?
No.
No.
Do
Okay.
is that where you want to start? Because Nick, obviously, you followed Russell Wilson last year as a member of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Let's open things up because you have been a staunch defender of Russell Wilson, the player, obviously clashing with Sean Payton and how things ended in Denver. So maybe if you can help bring this full circle, we know that Russell Wilson is there in Pittsburgh. They're paying him the league minimum while Sean Payton and the Broncos are holding the bag. But let's talk about, from an offense, why it didn't fit in Denver, and if you're optimistic for the fit in Pittsburgh.
Well, the reason why it didn't fit is because, first of all, you have to look at Russell's skill set. And automatically, it didn't fit anything that Sean Payton has ever done in any of the offenses, whether it's with New Orleans, the Giants, or even the Dallas Cowboys. You had a guy who wasn't your typical pocket passer. He was a guy that loves to escape to either his right or his left, and that means that he would lose ground to gain ground. And a lot of coordinators like Sean Payton, they want guys to stay on schedule. They want them, if it's a five-step drop, pressure in your face. I know it's coming. You know it's coming. I still want you to throw the dig route and get smacked in the face. Russell is not that guy. He's been the same guy, with the Broncos as though he was when he was in high school. If he's flushed any direction, right or left, he is getting outside the pocket because now he knows he has more space, more room. So for that matter, that's why I didn't get it. It just didn't gel. I mean, there are a couple more things, but we don't have time for that. But here's why I like the situation in Pittsburgh. Blane said it himself. Like, he could tune out the Pittsburgh Steelers for the first half of the season and only tune back in the playoffs. You know why? There was a culture that they have. Going back to Chuck Noll, right? Going back to the Chin himself, and then getting to Mike Tomlin. Coach Cowher. So there's a culture. You run the ball, you have decent quarterback play, and you play great defense. That's been a recipe for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's the reason they have had 3 head coaches in their franchise history, which is crazy. But now they feel as though we have a quarterback now and a quarterback of the future. And the reason I say that, you look at Russell and you look at Justin. Both of these guys have been cast off by Seattle, Denver, Chicago, but they possess the same skill set, right? It's like having a Mustang. You have a 2024 Mustang, and then you have a 1976 Shelby GT, right? Same car, right? They just look a little different, but they do the same thing. That's what Pittsburgh Steelers fans are going to get between Justin and Russell. And if Russell, for some reason, is struggling, you go to Justin. Both of those guys have something they want to prove. And Mike Tomlin has proven that, guess what? We'll take in those types of players and coaches. Remember Brian Flores? No one wanted to hire him after the Miami situation. Where did he go? He went to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because of the Roonies and because of Mike Tomlin. They have something special. And it's one of the reasons when I grew up in Miami, I wasn't a Dolphin fan originally. Guess what? I was a Steelers fan, right? I wanted to change my name to Franco Harris.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Hey man, I was a huge Jerome Bettis, the Bus. I was a huge fan of his. Like I've been a fan. I'm 40. 35 years is what I can say I've been a Steelers fan. It's a culture. It feels like it's fun. It's good. And you said it right though. They take in. Mike Tomlin will take in anybody. I think Mike Tomlin's got a chip on his own shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
He uses that to his advantage. He always has. He's got that stone face on. Looks menacing. He'll bring people in. He does. You know who it reminds me of, Alex? Doc Winter. Mike Tomlin and Doc Winter had the same demeanor almost around them. But it's something that when they walk into a room, and I've never been in a room with Mike, Doc Winter is the PD for iHeart. He's big in the hip hop world. But when they walk in a room, it's them. That's all that's there. You know, like everybody goes to that. They attract to that. And I think it's such a positive way. It's almost like there's the opposite side. I don't want to knock Ryan McBain's Raiders, but the Raiders had this, you know, they'll take anybody in there, all the criminals and all this. I think there was another culture that the Steelers had with it. It was like, yeah, we'll take you in, but you better act right or something. I don't know. There was something different about it. It's gonna be exciting. Go ahead, Alex. I thought you had something there.
Well, no, I was going to start with Russ, but your description of what Mike Tomlin does is apt. I mean, consuming, being a part of the media, consuming enough, like news clippings and podcasts and all that, you get the same response from anybody that's a player, coach, former player, coach in the media. When Mike Tomlin enters the room, there's like a different air about things, and he's not going to say anything. Hey guys, how are you doing? He stands there and he looks, and it's stoic. Like, what's he thinking about? What's on his mind? Like, just everybody fascinated with Mike Tomlin, the person, and largely built off the success that he had. And I want to get back to the team and the Russell and Justin Fields dynamic. We're seeing that play out where Justin Fields has been practicing with Russell dealing with a calf injury. So you're getting those reps that Justin Fields needs. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson doesn't need them, because we've got a brand new offense for him, for Pittsburgh as a whole. A lot more changes than we've come to expect in a typical Steelers offseason. So I think living in both the present and the future, Nick, to your point about the quarterback situation, is something that is playing out right before our eyes. And we'll see. I mean, on a one-year deal and Justin Fields is on an expiring deal, they are both auditioning for their next contracts. And I'd be willing to bet, I don't want to guarantee it, but I'd be willing to bet that one, but definitely not both of those quarterbacks, would get a second contract from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know what this reminds me of? A movie I saw a couple of years ago. And if you're a comic book fan, you'll get this. It's Future Past, but it's the Pittsburgh Steelers version of Future Past, because Fields can be the future while Russell is the past. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, when you listen to other individuals around national media, they don't really like this combination, because they were down on both quarterbacks to begin with last season, right? But to me, this is the perfect situation of your Pittsburgh Steelers, because if neither one of these guys work out, guess what? You're going to get another quarterback in 2025, right? And then if they do work out, guess what? You are still not paying either quarterback the average amount per year that the quarterbacks are making. You're not paying them what Justin Herbert made. You're not paying them what Jordan Love was paid. You're not. So you're still under the cap, but you still have quality play at the quarterback position. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, believe it or not, they are in great position right now.
How is that? How did that go from last year? Like, seriously, I'm like, yeah, Kenny Pickett, okay. But literally, you went from a Hall of Famer to three quarterbacks that nobody can name. Mm-hmm. And now you got now they're set up for who knows what, like it's insane. Sorry, go ahead, Alex.
No. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger looming as large as he did. The Green Bay Packers model is the Green Bay Packers model. Any other team could use a first-round pick to get their future quarterback, but the Packers have developed a unique ability to foster and take care of guys and still give them the attention and show them that they're valued. I mean, the Steelers tried, they drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round, but Mason Rudolph was there last year.